And we'll take a moment to ground ourselves in the present, right? The hardest thing in life these days, I feel like, is just to be where we are. We always want to be somewhere else. And I think our phones nearby make that a reality. And so we get caught up being other places than physically present where we are. So we'll take a moment, and from wherever you are in your seat, go ahead and scoot to the edge of it. And you want not so far to the edge that you're hanging off, but allow your sits bones, this bony protrusions underneath each butt cheek, the ischial tuberosities there, to catch the edge of the seat and help tilt the pelvic bowl forward here. So we're just rolling forward, creating space in the belly, planting the pads of the feet firmly on the floor. That's really going to help us out. And then we're going to do a little cheat here. So non-traditional yoga, but very traditional somatic movement. In order to ground and center our nervous system, we're going to do a little exercise. So take your right hand, sweep it across the chest, and then you're going to tuck your palm just underneath your arm. So in your armpit, I keep thinking of like, what is that movie? I want to like super freak. I don't even remember. So you're holding it across the chest. What this does is it creates a gentle cradle for the heart here. Your left hand, you're going to sweep across the chest, let it brace the upper right arm, and let the shoulders melt away from the ears here. See if you can find a relaxed posture in the shoulders, in the arms. And then from here, you might soften your gaze, let it diffuse, the room becoming slightly fuzzy, or you might close your eyes. And then invite your awareness first down into the belly. Can we soften the belly a little bit here? Is there any tension that you're holding behind the belly button or just above it? Can you send your next breath down into the belly? Invite a little stretch and release of any tension there. And then exhale, let it soften once more. The shoulders melting from the ears. A few more breaths into the belly, feeling it soften. And then on your next inhale, send it into the heart center here with hugs. Can you send your breath into the heart, into the lungs? Feel it expand, and then exhale, soften through the rib cage, through the shoulders, before once more inhaling, sending your breath into the heart center and the lungs. A few more times at your own pace, noticing how full can you fill the heart and the lungs. As you do, can you feel the chest rise towards the sun? The heart center expanding, inviting in the goodness of the day. We are here to receive all that good energy. We're here to release all of that tension that gets stuck and trapped in the body. Breaths into that heart center. And then on your next exhale, release your hands slowly from by your sides. Let your palms rest atop your thighs. Take a moment and just acknowledge how you feel in the body. Taking this time to breathe, to be present. Has the body softened? Has it found some ease here? And then we're slowly going to drop our face down towards the earth. So we're going to extend through the back of the neck. And it's not that we're tucking the chin in towards the chest so much as we're just letting the forehead hang heavy here. Feeling that length created along the back of the neck. You might even press through the top of the head to further lengthen through the back of the neck. You decide how you want to feel this. Bring ease to the jaw and the tongue here, the cheeks of your face. And then on an inhale, we're going to slowly bring our gaze up towards the ceiling. And we're pressing our chin up towards the ceiling until the muscles in the front of the throat grow taut here, these platysma muscles. Pressing through the chin, lengthening through the front of the body here. You might once more breathe into the heart center here, creating even more length through that front line. Pressing that chin upwards. Release any effort into the belly here. Can you breathe into the body with ease? And then on an exhale, lower your gaze slowly to neutral. On an inhale, sweep the right arm up and overhead. As you exhale, place that right palm on the left side of the face. And then we're going to invite the right ear slowly towards that right shoulder. You might use the weight of your right hand to gently assist with this stretch. And then notice, can you relax that left shoulder down towards the floor, creating even more length along the left side of the neck here? We're stimulating our vagal brake. Our vagal brake, I talk about this so much, is one of our vagal nerves that branches out. So it runs from the base of the skull, side of the throat, branches out all over the heart. It controls our heart rate. And when it's stimulated like this for an extended period of time, like we are, it starts to slow the heart rate down. It signifies to your nervous system that you are safe, that it can find a state of regulation in this rest, digest, heal, parasympathetic spot. One more breath into the body, softening through the belly. As you exhale, release your hand from your head. Let the head float slowly upright. Rest your palm down on top of your thigh, and once more note what you feel. Maybe a floating sensation, maybe a heat, a coolness, or an ache. We take time to identify this deeply connects us, the mind-body connection, building interoception, building body trust. And then when you're ready, sweeping that left arm up overhead, planting the palm on the opposite side of the face, we'll slowly invite the ear down towards the shoulder, lengthening through the right side of the neck. Can you invite all this length by drawing your mind's awareness into the right side of the neck here as it lengthens, softening that right shoulder down towards the earth, softening through the face, through the belly, and breathing into the body here. You might keep the eyes open and diffused. You might keep them closed. But can we bring softness to the torso of the body, everywhere that we so often clench from stress or concentration? Can we take this opportunity to melt everywhere that our effort isn't needed for this posture? Once more, check in with that right shoulder. Can you lengthen it or weight it any further down towards the earth? And then release your hand from the side of your face. Let the head float slowly upright. You might take a moment once more to note what you feel in the body. To breathe into the belly, create softness for just a moment. Beautiful. Let's continue warming up the neck and the shoulders. So on an inhale, sweep the arms out. We're really pressing through the fingertips as we draw the arms up towards the ceiling. Your gaze might follow as those arms rise, and then bring the palms together towards the heart center in Anjali Mudra. moving with the breath. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, palms come together towards the heart center. Twice more. Inhale, pressing through those fingertips, long through the arms. Gaze rises. Bring it all on down towards the heart. Sometimes I imagine that I'm just gathering up all of the joy, energy, presence that I need today, and I am just drawing it into my heart center. Pause here for a moment. Thumbs pressed against the sternum, pressed into the heart. Take a moment to connect with self, and then release your hands down by your sides. All right, we're going to bring the low body into this. And if you're seated on a couch, that's great, but you're going to want to scoot to the very, very edge of your couch. If you're like me and you're seated on a seat with no arms, it's going to be very, very, very easy. Stay where you are. We're going to identify our left leg. We're going to lift our left knee up, and we do this by pressing down into the pad of the right foot, using that strength to lift the left knee up. Sometimes I lift my belly up just to get my knee up, right? Notice how different it feels with or without holding the belly. It's just awesome things, getting to know your body, knowing how to move it with more or less ease, and then lower it on down. Beautiful. There's some effort. Let's do it again. You might pick up the belly and raise the knee, or you might use the belly as some added weight and some added challenge. You decide. We'll hold this. I'm pressing through the heel of my foot, gently flexing my toes towards my heart center. Holding, feeling the effort build in the leg. Notice where you feel this. Where does the heat begin to build? Is it the top of the thigh? Is it in the hip? Is it in that glute? And then anytime you're ready, lower that foot slowly back on down towards the earth. We'll do this one more time. Lifting the belly or not, lifting the knee, holding, pressing through the heel, flexing through the toe. You might even really feel that left sit bone really press down into the seat as you lift that left knee up towards the ceiling. And then instead of lowering the foot down, we're going to turn our knee out towards the left and plant it. So now my toes are pointed towards the left. All right, beautiful. This right leg here, I'm going to extend it long out towards the side. The toes of my right foot are pointed straight ahead in the same direction as my gaze. The toes of my left foot are pointed towards the left. So my feet look like this. How do I do this? Like this. And then from here, we're going to find extended side angle. So I'm going to take my left hand, the back of my left hand, palm forward. I'm going to slide it down to the inside of my left thigh, planting my forearm on that thigh here. And then this right arm from my right hip, I'm going to sweep it up overhead. And then I'm really finding this length along the right side of my body here. So pressing down into that left forearm, this nice strong anchor here. You're going to find all this length on the right side of the body by pressing out through the fingertips of that right hand and down through the pad of that right foot. Breathing into that right side body, you might imagine sending your breath into the right side of the rib cage. Each inhale, further expanding through the side body. Pressing the fingers of that right hand up and out the opposite direction that you're pressing that right leg down into the earth. And then on an inhale of your choice, sweep back up. Beautiful. Bring this left leg in, right leg in. We'll get ready to switch sides. So first we're going to start with our right knee lifts. You might hold the belly, you might not. When you are ready, pressing down through that left foot, using that strength to lift the right knee up, press through the heel, flex the toes towards the body. Hold and breathe. Can we breathe into the belly while we do this? Can you bring ease to the jaw and the throat while you do this? Almost done. Holding, let sensation build, let heat build. You can do hard things and you can rest anytime your body needs just by planting that heel down. Our most powerful yoga is the yoga that honors our body today. When you're ready, lower that heel down nice and slow. You might shake out that hip for a moment, give it some love. We'll get ready to do this again. So pressing down through that left foot, you can either pick up the right side of the belly or not. Lift that left knee and hold. Press through the heel, flex the toes towards the heart. Breathe into the body here. Let sensation build. You can do hard things. One more deep inhale into the body. Lower that right foot down. Beautiful. Shake out that right hip. If you like, we've got one more of this. All right. You might prep, right? Grab the right side of the belly or leave the belly for that added challenge. Pressing through that left foot, lift the right knee up. Engaging the whole of the leg by pressing through the heel of that right foot. Flex the toes up one more time. Breathe into the belly here. We're almost done. And then we're going to take this right knee. We're going to swing it out towards the right. Plant it down. Toes pointed all the way towards the right. My left leg extends long towards the left. Toes of that left foot pointed directly in front. Ooh, I should have scooted back so y'all could see my feet a little better. All right, let's find our extended side angle. We're gonna bend our right elbow, palm up. We're gonna lay it atop our thigh here. And this is our anchor, right? This forearm atop that right thigh. And then this left hand extended along our left side. We're gonna sweep it up. And I like to turn my thumb up towards the ceiling as I do, just to honor my shoulder socket here. Sweep it up overhead until our fingertips are pressing in the exact opposite direction as the toes or as the left leg is, right? Finding all of this length along the left side of the body, pressing down through that right forearm to create even more length. And then can you breathe into that left side of the rib cage here and just use the breath to further extend. Beautiful. One more deep belly breath here, and then sweep that arm up and down. Bring the legs in nice and slow. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. All right. From here, let's do some seated cat-cow. It is so, so powerful. And we're going to start in a very somatic way by focusing on the pelvis. So reposition yourself. If you need to scoot forward on your chair a little bit, do it, but feel your strong foundation. Find your seated Tadasana, right? The starting point where all things blossom from. And then from here, press through the pads of your feet. And as you do, you're going to start to tuck your tailbone up towards your belly button. So feel the pelvic bowl roll up as you press gently through the pads of the feet. You're lengthening through the low back as you do this. I'm going to turn my orientation so you can see what I'm doing. I'm seated here, pressing through the pads of my feet, rolling or tucking my tailbone up towards my belly button, lengthening through the low back. You can notice that you naturally start to hunch when you do this. This is exactly what we're going for here. When you're ready, still pressing to the pads of the feet, let the forehead hang heavy. We know this spot. We've been here before. Finding this C shape with the spine, lengthening through the back of the neck, still pressing to the pads of the feet, letting sensation build slowly. And then on an inhale, rise up to neutral, release all effort. Take a moment to let go, even from the belly. In somatics, the letting go is as equally important as the effort we put into showing up in these postures. We have to learn to let go. That's how we find mobility. That's how we find length. That's how we Release chronic stress and tension from the body. One more time, start to press down into the pads of the feet. Feel the low back lengthen, tuck the tailbone up, drop the head down, lengthen through the back of the neck. Here we are in cat, Marjaryasana, seated cat. See if you can let that forehead hang even heavier. Can you find any more length in the back of the neck? Pressing down still through the pads of the feet, lengthening through that low back. On an inhale of your choice, rise up to neutral. Release all effort from the belly, the pelvis, the neck, the shoulders. And let's move into Bidlasana, cow. When you're ready, we'll turn our gaze up towards the ceiling, once more finding that tension along the front of the neck here. Opening up through the heart center. And then from here, roll the shoulders up towards the ceiling and then back and down towards the earth. One more time, roll the shoulders up and back and down. And this time, hold them gently back and down as the gaze rises, keeping that tension along the front of the throat. And then we'll shift our belly forward. So the tailbone rocks back towards the seat or back towards the wall behind you. Belly falls forward here. Take a deep breath into your belly in this posture. Breathe deep. So often I want to cough when I'm doing a deep, deep cow posture. Go for it. If the body is asking for it and you have the space and the safety to comply, this is how our body learns to trust us. We show up for it in the ways that it's asking. Beautiful. On an exhale, we're going to release all effort, come back to neutral. Take a moment here to soften. You might think of yourself like ice cream in the sunshine, finding with your mind's eye any places of tension in the body. Can you let it melt away? The shoulders, the belly, the thighs. And then when you're ready, we'll move into our cat posture yet again, or our cow, by lifting our gaze up towards the ceiling, feeling that tension along the front of the throat. And then we'll curl the tailbone back towards the wall behind us. Belly falls forward. You can even brace your hands atop your thighs as an anchor to help pull the belly and the heart forward. Breathe into the belly here. Can you soften through the front of the throat as you keep the chin pressed up? Let the tongue float in the mouth as you breathe into the belly. And on an exhale, release. Come into this neutral posture. And then let's move a few times with the breath. Now for somatics, moving with the breath is way too quick, excuse me. But for yoga, it can feel very, very empowering and relaxing for the mind. So on an inhale, we're going to find cow once more. Our gaze rises, heart center rises, belly falls forward, tailbone tucks back towards the wall behind us. As you exhale, drop the gaze down towards the earth, press into the pads of the feet, lengthen through the low back, finding this C shape before inhaling once more to seated cow, pressing up through that chin, right? Lengthening through the whole front of the body. Exhaling back to cat. Dropping that gaze, lengthening through the back of the neck before rising once more. Move back and forth, 3 or 4 more breaths at your own pace. Sometimes when we try and match the breath of another, it can cause a disruption to our nervous system, a feeling of panic. And we are here to love on our nervous system, to regulate it together. And knowing that you are in complete control of your own breath, your own movement can help with that. On an exhale of your choice, come back to this neutral posture. I'll face you once more. We're going to come into a goddess pose. So knees, we're going to, once more scoot towards the edge of your seat, right? The setup is important. And we're going to open our knees out towards the sides, as wide as it feels good for you today. And know that some days that might feel like this. Some days it might feel like this, but you decide. Wherever the knees are pointed, your toes are going to track with them. Right? So take a moment, check in with the toes, ensure they're in alignment with the knees wherever they are, and then take both of your palms of your hands, plant them atop your thighs, fingertips inward. I'm going to come down. So we're going to come into a forward fold by inviting our heart center forward, and I'm going to use my arms to help find length in my torso. So I'm pressing down through my arms, finding this length through my spine, and then I'm going to drop my heart center forward. And as you drop your heart center forward, start to bend through the elbows. Elbows bend towards the outside, and they actually help us hold our thighs open here. Sending our heart center forward, pressing strong through the pads of the feet. This isn't a deep fold. Breathing into the belly here. And then we're going to drop the left shoulder down into the middle. So dropping the left shoulder down, pressing through that left palm. See if you can straighten that left arm or move that left arm towards straight as you drop it towards the midline. Beautiful. Slowly rise back up. Once more, we'll lean the heart forward down, bend through the elbows. And then drop that right shoulder towards the midline, down towards the earth. Start to press into that right hand, starting to extend that right arm. Pressing strong through the pads of the feet, so we are building strength in the legs, in the core. Finding some mobility in the chest. Go ahead and rise up to neutral. Beautiful. Keeping the legs out wide like this, we're going to open up the lateral portions of the spine, our side body. So check in with yourself. If this is really effortful, if the glutes are cramping, close the gate just a little bit, right? So choosing your goddess that allows you to be present. And when you are ready, we're going to sweep our arms up and overhead. We're going to interlace our fingers in temple mudra. I'll show you here. Interlacing all of our fingers and then extending your pointer fingers only. So the pointer fingers become this assistance, pressing our energy up towards the sky. So finding this length here, hanging out here for a moment, fingertips pressed upward, arms long, finding this length all through the spine. Take a deep inhale, press through those fingertips. As you exhale, we're going to slowly lean towards the right, just a little bit. Really feel that left sit bone pressing down into the chair, finding all of this length on the left side of the body. And then we'll rise back up. Deep breath in, and on your next exhale, lean towards the opposite direction. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lean. We'll do this twice on either side. More. Inhaling to rise, exhaling to lean, really pressing through the pads of those feet, using the legs as an assistance here. Rise up, and then release the hands. Slowly bring them down by the sides. Beautiful. Walk the feet in. We're going to take 1 minute of a final Shavasana, but first let's forward fold completely just to settle the body down into the moment. So you can keep your legs about hip distance apart. I like to take them a little bit wider to make space for my belly here. And then once more, the palms meet the top of the hands. You're going to use them as an assist to find all this length in the torso, right? Pressing through the hands, finding this length. And then taking this length with you, invite the heart center forward. Press into the hands as much as you would like. We're lengthening through the low back. So the heart center comes forward, the neck remains in alignment with the spine. It's just the heart sinking down between the legs. It can feel good to tuck the belly between the thighs. Plenty of room for the breath. Bending through the elbows, inviting that heart center down. Stopping wherever feels good. And hanging out. Maybe you release the hands and let them fall down towards the earth. Maybe you keep the hands where they are, but release the head. You decide. But it's either the arms or the head or both that are hanging loose here for just a moment in this fold. Breathe into your belly. Feel your breath here, that deep inhale, send it down into your belly. Notice the sensation of the belly expanding here in this fold. Continue to breathe here for a moment. And then when you are ready, on an exhale of your choice, start to curl up vertebra by vertebra, keeping the head heavy, rising up nice and slow until you're slowly lifting your gaze into this gentle, neutral posture. From here, we'll find our quick Shavasana. I like to scoot way back in my seat. Lean the length of my spine against a support of some kind. Let my arms and legs fall where they feel good, maybe palms on your lap, maybe down by your sides. Our goal in this moment is complete effortlessness. And so can you explore a posture that asks nothing from your physical form, that lets you just be here and breathe? And it's in this place where the body grows still that we invite the mind to grow still with the body. And so if your mind likes to tell stories, likes to ruminate on the past or plan for the future, take a moment here. Invite your awareness, your mind down into the breath in your body. Notice how the inhales feel as they stretch the belly and the heart. Notice how your exhales feel as they soften the body, bringing ease. Even in our stillness, there's so much happening within our body. And we just gently invite the mind to become aware of it. Knowing that by doing this, we're secretly teaching our mind to remain present, to find calm in choppy waters, to be an ally in our lives instead of an enemy. We'll begin to awaken the body here. You might start some gentle movement in the fingers. Maybe you're rubbing your thumbs against the pads of your other fingers. Maybe you start rubbing your toes against the ground beneath you, noticing the texture or the temperature you feel. And then take a deep breath into the belly, into the torso. Feel it all stretch. Start to awaken. Bring that movement into the wrists and the ankles, maybe up into the legs. We'll start our pendiculations in somatic. In somatics, this is the stretching and the yawning that we do when we wake up and no one is looking, and we're willing to just shift and twist and explore. So do that now. in whatever ways bring you delight, knowing that it releases a ton of dopamine, a ton of serotonin. It's just how we want to be spending this time. And then when the body feels gently reawakened, as you find yourself back in your seat with me here in the room, we'll end our practice together. And you might bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra at the heart center. As you take an inhale, notice how the chest rises to meet the thumbs. As you exhale, an option to take a gentle bow in the head if you'd like. The first thing we do is thank ourselves for showing up. It's the hardest work we do, turning on the screen, logging in, choosing to show up. And each time you do, you are powerful. So thank yourself. No one did it but you. As we end our practice, as you move through the rest of the day, through the rest of the week, take the breath with you. Allow your mind to drop into your body anytime you're feeling disconnected, and just take those deep body breaths, noticing with your mind's eye what expands and stretches, what relaxes and releases with the breath. And use it as a tool to regulate the nervous system, to bring presence into any moment, and to reacquaint yourself with yourself. There is nothing more powerful than your self-knowing. Thank you for practicing with me today. The light in me and the dark in me sees the light and the dark in you, and we are the same, and we are healing together, and it's awesome. Thank you for practicing with me today.